Meanwhile, our next guest is condemning the Biden administration for focusing on Ukraine's border while failing to address the crisis along our southern border. That's the story we just brought you. Joining us is Arizona gubernatorial candidate Steve Gaynor. Steve, good to see you, and thank you so much for coming on. I'll start for our viewers here with your op-ed in the Washington Times, just a headline of it really quickly, if I can, a quote. It says this: Biden protects Ukraine's border while ignoring Arizona's. Steve, expand on that if you can for me, please.
When I visited the border, I saw hundreds and hundreds of people crossing, and I can tell you not all of them were friendlies. So I wrote a letter to Congress asking people, I invited every single person in Congress to come visit the border with me and see what's going on, because any reasonable person who saw what I saw would say Biden should be impeached and convicted for dereliction of duty. We are being invaded. The prediction this year, 2022, is that 700,000 people will cross into Arizona. That represents about 10% of our population. It's outrageous.
What did you see when you visited the border that was most upsetting to you? I mean, there are a number of topics: human trafficking, drug trafficking, obviously coming to the country illegally. What was the biggest standout to you?
Right. What I saw were a couple of groups of military-aged men. There were about 12 in each group, and these people were from South Asia and the Middle East. They were clearly not friendly. They were not coming to our country to fulfill the American dream. My sense was that they were here to do us no good. Why wouldn't we think that Russia or Iran would send people here so that someday they could cause us trouble?
Again, we continue to follow that story at the southern border, as you're pointing out. I'm just curious of, does this fall on President Biden? Does this fall on Secretary Mayorkas, or even Vice President Kamala Harris, who at one point was tapped to find the root causes of migration? It's not just Mexicans that are crossing the border. They are literally from all over the globe.
Yes, they are. They're from everywhere. None of them were from Mexico when I visited. They were from Venezuela and Cuba, Central America, but also from South Asia and the Middle East. And the Biden administration knows what's going on. They are knowingly opening our border and letting these people in, transporting them to the interior of the country, and there's no excuse for it. That's why I say Biden should be impeached, because he knows what's happening and he's allowing it to happen.
Steve, real quick before we go, I know you're running for governor in Arizona. If I'm correct on that, tell me what your platform is.
Yes, I am running for Arizona, governor for Arizona, and my platform is shut the border, secure law enforcement. We have tremendous amount of drugs and crime happening in our state, election integrity, and to keep us prosperous and safe. Go to my website, gaynorforgovernor.com. Help us out here in Arizona. We're on the front lines here at the border.
All right, Steve Gaynor joining us live there, gubernatorial candidate in Arizona. Steve, good to see you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.